Okay, we're at Emmett Dalton's house in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and it is November 30th, 2024. And this is a sign that shows the main overview of the house, shows how it was in the. This is a clip from the 1908 movie that Emmett made with Tackett. We think it's the oldest, Oklahoma's oldest existing movie filming location. And it was a one-story house at that time in 1908. Emmett had just gotten out of prison and he had married Julia. And so they moved into this house where she had already been living. And then over there in the corner, that's about 1910, 1911 maybe, they converted it into a rooming house and added a second floor to it. And so that's pretty much the configuration that it has today, but we're doing a lot of reproduction, rebuilding of the porch area. The rest of the house is pretty solid and original, but the porch needed a lot of work done, but we're rebuilding everything that was rotten back to exactly what it was. So you can see these railings that we're doing here they don't appear to be in the 1908 picture there, but they were in the 1911 picture, so they at least go back that far. But the railings were non-existent for decades, so we're reproducing them exactly off of that picture. And these are about 4-inch spacing, 3 7/8 spacing that we did on that, and that matches one of the old pieces we have, remnants left behind from the upper porch. And it's just 1x2s on the top and bottom, and then basically 2x4 on the top and bottom. And so a pretty simple design, but a solid classic design that looks really good. And so we've got these spans going on. There was no opening. I mean, there was an opening over there where you come up the front steps. They didn't have any railing there, but then you have this 12-foot railing there, and you have these two curved sections. And these curves since this was non-existent for us, we had to base these curves off of what was going on up above. But that's the original curve up here. These 1x6s are cut out of a wide 1x board into an arc. There's 3 separate pieces, but that's the original curvature. So we took a shape finder that we made and found the exact curvature of that, and then used it down here to project it to get this curve so it exactly matches the curve above. So this is based on that. And then same thing, once we had this railing set and the curve figured out for that, we based this outer fascia on being 2 1/4 inches out from here to there. So it matched all the way around. So that's what defined all this curvature. And so now what we're doing is we're doing some of the final railings. There's 2 more to do down here at the end. There's an open one for the other staircase, and then we'll close it at the end, and we have 1 more missing down there. But in order to make these, we ripped these little 1x2s, we ripped ourselves because we couldn't find anything that was stock that was the right fit. So we ripped those ourselves out of 1x6s, and then we cut all these 2x2s out of 8-foot long ones, and they're 20 inches long exactly. And then these are just standard 2x4s. And so in order to get these all set, the same spacing, and to be able to go into production mode and do this quickly, we made a little jig that I can show you down here. So this little jig just has 5 blocks that are 3 7/8 long, and then these 2x2s that are cut to 20 inches long just fit in like this. So we can do several of them at once by just dropping them in here. It holds them all square and tight, and then we put this here and we run the screw in the end for each one of these. So we could do 4 and 5 if we put one on the end, and then we can just pop this out of here and then slide it down. So that would go in like that. Line this up because we just started out and we have that gap. And we just make the whole thing, and then we set it in place and see how it works between the posts and try to just sort of split some differences, average it out. But the posts that are on this railing now are 4x4s. Those are just temporary posts. We have the original round posts that taper from about 8 inches at the bottom to about 6 inches at the top, and they're oak and they're hollow and they're in good condition. So eventually we'll refurbish those and start switching them out and put those posts in instead of these 4x4s. So when we do that, we're gonna have to cut all these railings back a little bit on the ends, because these are only 3 1/2 inch wide 4x4 posts versus the 6, 7, 8 inch wide diameter round ones. So our railings will need to be cut back a little, and they'll need to be curved a little on the ends to fit into the round posts. But that'll be a detail we'll do later. Right now we're just trying to get these all built and tacked up into place. So we could make one of these real fast. Might need an assistant. Jim, do you want to assist? And we could just show how we get some of these going. So we'll just start off with that being the 3 7/8 spacing. Get a screw started here and get that going, and then we usually just kind of give it a little tap, make sure it's seated all down in, and it should flush just about perfectly, because we made these, let me bring that up a little bit flush, because we made these 1x2s just right at 1.5 inches wide, so it should be a perfect fit. Get that one, another one, that feels flush. So it goes really fast thanks to this jig. So we do one run of this many. And then we lift this up out of here and we slide it down, put it here, place some more rungs in it. Just as easy as that. We've already done 8 of them, and we can only do 3 more here, and then we got to cut some more of these, which for that we just set the tables or the chop saw up, and we had a little stop right at 20 inches, so we could just slam it to that stop and just go chop chop chop, and we made 120 of them, or more than that even, I think now we've made, and we just made them really fast. And this is all treated wood, so it should last a long, long time. It'll get painted, but okay, time to chop some more of these.
All right. So that's pretty much, you're just making a nice little banister rail here to finish out, and
Yeah.
I really like your little transom window up there. The
Little faux. It's exactly. It's a photograph of the one in front, and then we just proportionally scaled it down to fit this smaller transom. But because it worked so well digitally, why not take this into a stained glass place and have them replicate that and put one here? Because I think it's kind of neat to have a splash of stained glass on this south side, because otherwise you don't have any here. So it adds a little bit to it. Okay, thanks a lot. Come join us for the next video.